热烈欢迎，永远欢迎，下午好。今天稍微晚一点开始了，因为抱歉，我没有注意到时间。好，我们今天要继续玩 Stray Gods 流浪之神。上次我们主角 Grace 是念 Grace 没错吧？我应该还没忘记主角名字吧？好，我们的 Grace 呢，而是他因为意外变成了神，但他必须证明自己没有杀了上一个世代的缪斯女神，他才有办法好好的活过7天，不然的话，他最终会迎来一个不公平的审判。所以，我们的阿波罗愿意帮个忙。那我们就继续吧。我记得上次他跟我们找到了冥界女王，然后跟他吵了一架。我们先跟阿波罗谈谈如何。然后我后来回去查了一下声优，没错，阿波罗的声优是最终生还者乔尔的声优是同个人。
That's good. I was just about to call you.
He means he wants me to call you because Paul here still hasn't figured out how to use a phone.
That's not true. I know how. I just don't like them.
对，他不太会用3C。
Anyhow, I've been contemplating our list of suspects, and I think Pan is someone we need to consider.
一下，手机是怎么回事？
Wait. You don't like phones?
I just don't like talking to people I can't see.
No, it's the ringtones. They scare the crap out of him. I kid you not.
I'm not frightened. Only a child would be frightened. They're just...
你不用解释了，反正又没什么关系，很可爱啊。
Yeah.
Can we return to the subject of Pan, please? 等一下，我的摇杆失灵了。好，它正常了。
Why Pan? I thought you'd rejected him as a suspect.
Persephone did, but I've had time to think it over. Pan is a schemer, a traitor in favors. He always has been. His sudden appearance in all this cannot be coincidental.
You think he could have killed Calliope after all?
Perhaps. Or he knows who did and is trying to turn it to his benefit. He always knows more than he pretends.
You should know. Pan asked me to meet him at Olympus. I'm not sure why.
Wait, he wants to see you again? I don't like this.
Why? Is he that bad? Should I not go?
No. Perhaps it's best that you do, even if it's just to find out what he wants and why. Aphrodite is holding a party of sorts, one you should attend. She is closest to Pan. Indeed, she knows almost all the idols. If anyone is up to something, she's bound to know.
What do you mean by a party of sorts? I mean, I'm always down for a party, but...
It's more of a remembrance than a party, really. It's difficult to describe.
That's awfully vague, Apollo.
It'll be easier to see for yourself. It's nothing you can't handle.
You know Aphrodite better than I do. Can't you talk to her?
Well, talking to Aphrodite isn't something anyone does with much success these days.
Well, if that's the case, what makes you think I'll get anywhere?
There's a standing invitation for the Muse to attend this party. Calliope never went, so Aphrodite will be thrilled to see you. Trust me. If I thought you couldn't get her to talk, I wouldn't suggest it.
I still have that invitation from Pan. Maybe it'd be easier if I just went to see him.
You could, but would you believe anything he had to say?
No.
I might catch him in a lie, which is just as telling.
Well, whatever you do, be
没办法，
careful.
潘太油条了。
I still think
很难让人
Aphrodite
信
is
任
our
他。
best bet.
Okay, I'll go. Eventually.
Perfect. I will see you there.
Paul, you should see this. The names you wanted me to look up are getting weird results.
I don't doubt it. I was hoping you could...
Get over here!
No worries, Paul. I'll see you later.
我觉得阿波罗真的很可爱。好，我们先去找 Persephone 好了。毕竟我觉得我们跟他的话还没有讲完。上海应该
As
会
I
觉
recall,
得
Grace, when I said stay or leave, you chose to leave. If it wasn't clear, I don't give second chances. Or did you have some other reason for darkening my doorstep?
I wanted to see you again. Make sure there were no hard feelings.
Oh, so it's a social visit then. Oh, let me be clear. There are no hard feelings. There are no feelings at all. You came, you got what you wanted, you left. Wherever you need to go next, I'm sure Apollo can take you.
You haven't considered that maybe you need me for your plans?
What would you know of my plans?
Just that you have them. And if you need anything, it's allies. Allies like me.
Ever persistent. You remind me of her a little.
Of who? Calliope?
It's an interesting offer, Grace. I'll consider it, truly.
看来我觉得 Persephone 跟那个 Calliope 应该有一些关系。好，我们去找潘。等，好。他遥感操控有时候会有点怪怪的，没有那么的顺畅。
I'd say hello, Grace, but I'm afraid that look on your face might be catching.
What is this place?
It's a garden, darling. Surely even mortals have them.
This building. All those people I pass getting up here. Are they all idols?
Oh, at least some of them. Welcome to Olympus, dear Grace. Our home hidden away in plain sight. Marvelous, isn't it?
I've passed this part of the city 100 times. I've never seen this building. Was it always here, or...?
Our Lady Hecate provides glamours that allow certain things to go unseen, such as my glorious horns. Olympus is the same. Those invited see it. Those who aren't see exactly what they expect. It's not anywhere as grand as in the old country, but it serves its purpose.
How many idols are there? I've met, less than 12?
Oh, I don't know, 20, 30. Our numbers have dwindled so much I've stopped keeping track.
I didn't know there were that many gods.
We're not all equally legendary, it's true. Some idols were barely worshipped, others not at all. Indeed, not all of us are idols. Some are merely immortal. Hangers-on, if you will. You'll meet them all, given time.
I don't know, Pan. Olympus seems pretty grand to me.
As if
是一栋
mortals
高
would
级
know
大
any
楼，
better.
高级豪宅耶。
This isn't the first time you've been here. I'm sure Hermes took you to Athena's dreary office.
That's here? Huh.
Good one, that Hermes. Almost as dull-witted as the original, but biddable.
我们先把话都问
Idols
完
live here? I mean, Calliope didn't, obviously. Apollo doesn't either.
One must have special dispensation from Our Lady of Wisdom, Athena, before they can take up a private dung heap like Apollo's.
Am I gonna have to give him my apartment?
That's rather putting the cart before the horse, darling. First, you must outlive the week.
Right. Good point. You asked me to meet you here?
I did. As I recall, you owe me a favor that I now wish to collect, if you'd be so kind.
啊，好哦。
Oh, sure. I'm totally in a position to help others right now. Lay it on me.
Here's the thing. A friend has begged for my help, and you're far better suited than I to offer what he requires. I'll give you a key to reach the reliquary where he resides. You help him, and then we're even. If that's not enough incentive, the reliquary is also where you'll find the lovely Hecate. A sorceress of her power could aid your quest. What do you say?
What is this reliquary? Doesn't that have something to do with the bones of saints or something?
Not those relics. Our relics. The relics of ancient gods. Magical treasures collected over thousands of years.
哦，所以是个图书
Books
馆。
mainly. We store them in a faraway place so no one unsavory can get their hands on them.
Unsavory like you?
Unsavory like most. Athena has decreed that these relics are not to be used by any save Hecate and herself.
黑卡蒂，黑卡蒂
A rather
是
dull waste of so
黑
much
魔法
amassed
女
knowledge
神。
and power, but who am I to judge? I'm not leader of the chorus.
If these relics are off limits, does that mean they're dangerous?
Some, but I'm not asking you to chase after any of that nonsense. In fact, I'd advise against it.
But what if one of those relics could help me?
My, such an adventurer you are. It's possible, but ask Hecate first. She, and I mean this with complete and uncharacteristic seriousness, is not an idol you or anyone wishes to cross.
在传说里面比较冷酷一点点，然后也比较一板一眼的。
This person I'm to help, what does he want? And why can't you do it?
Well, Grace, there are some things you're better equipped to handle than I. This, as I understand it, is a delicate matter of the heart. One that requires a muse's hand.
A matter of the heart.
What, did you think I was sending you to rough someone up? Set something aflame? Don't be absurd. The man has an issue with his love life. Even if you can't help him, I'll treat the effort as worth the favor.
So that's it? Fix up someone's love life? Nothing trickier than that?
Oh, the way you talk, Grace. It makes me blush.
Well, it's just that...
I trade in willing favors, Grace. If I didn't, no one would want to do as I ask, and then where would I be? I may seem untrustworthy, but allow me to reassure you. If I wish you harm, you will walk into that harm knowingly and with open arms.
What about Calliope? Did she walk into harm knowingly and with open arms?
You tell me. I could deny it, of course, but if you choose not to believe anything I say, what's the point of asking the question?
This Hecate, do you think she could help me?
她真的太
If
油
she's
条
of a
了，
mind.
有点难
She is the
喜欢
goddess of dark
她。
magic, the creator of all our marvelous glamours. If anyone can help you, it is she.
And if she's not of a mind?
Then she won't help you. Grace, that part is up to you. I can't be expected to do everything, can I?
I'll think
就是
about
考虑
it,
看看啊。
but no promises.
Marvelous. The gentleman you seek is named Asterion. Lovely fellow, quite harmless. I'll send a package to your
Asterion,
domicile that contains directions and the key you'll need to reach the reliquary.
I said no promises.
Well, if you decide to go, Grace, you'll still need all those things. Say hello to darling Hecate on my behalf, will you?
圣地阿芙洛黛蒂的排队。我觉得我们再跟阿波罗再谈一次，然后我们就去阿芙洛黛蒂的宴会好了。
It's good to see you again, Grace. Last we spoke, you mentioned that Pan had asked for a meeting. I take it you went?
He wants me to repay a favor by helping someone at a place called the Reliquary.
The Reliquary? Now, why would Pan send you there, of all places? I don't like the sound of that.
为什么？
Pan said it was some kind of library. Is that not right?
It's a storehouse of knowledge and magic, one that's normally off-limits to most idols.
Will there be trouble if I go?
Probably, but it's also possible Hecate could help your search. I hate to say it, but you might want to risk it and then plead ignorance. Anything else you'd like to discuss while you're here?
我觉得我们对 Calliope
Tell me more
还不
about
够深入。
Calliope. You and her were good friends, right?
For centuries, we were far more. I was the god of the arts, and the muses were my constant companions.
阿
We
波罗真
went
的掌管很多
everywhere
东西。
together. They had many names, but the three most common were Clio, Talia, and Calliope. The sisters of beauty, I called them, though they weren't always women.
I never thought of that. Do idols change gender a lot?
Most of us seek out inheritors who are like us, I suppose, but not all. Calliope, in fact, was a man in our previous incarnation. Christoph, I think his name was. A poet Calliope adored. I was surprised when she made him a muse.
Who did Calliope become after that poet, Christoph?
You have to realize we're already into the period where Calliope and I weren't really speaking. She showed up one day in her new form, the one you met. An opera singer whose name she never revealed. We fought, as I recall. I told her she couldn't pass on every time she met an artist she fell in love with. Eventually, she'd forget everything about who we were and where we came from. She said she'd rather forget than wallow in old memories like I or the other idols were doing. It was time to wake up and make the best of our situation. Calliope was an idealist without compromise. Always. She hated what we'd become. What I'd become. She wasn't wrong.
我感觉
From how you
阿波罗是不是很
describe
常跟他
it,
吵架
you and Calliope fought a lot.
As often as we saw each other, which became less and less as time wore on. However, she fought with everyone. Calliope hated the idols being kept secret. She and Athena would get into screaming matches over the rules, and it got so I could no longer protect her. She moved out of Olympus years ago and kept to herself. I just assumed she was wrapped up with some new artist when I got the news.
Do you regret not making up with her?
Every day I think about our last conversation and what I should have said or done differently. The problem with immortality is that you think you have all the time in the world.
It wasn't only fighting with Calliope, right? Surely there were good things too.
Is that how it sounds? No. She was marvelous. A force to be reckoned with if there ever was one. In the darkest days during the war, it was her songs that gave us hope. She kept Aphrodite alive through sheer determination, I think. Calliope cared. About us, about art, about people she'd only just met. It was her greatest strength as well as her greatest weakness.
I wonder why she picked me. I don't feel like I'm any of those things.
You underestimate yourself, Grace. I see a lot of her in you. She chose well.
I'd like to know a little more about the idols. I am one now, right?
You are. What would you like to know?
Well, what are we? Where did we come from? If an idol is a soul that moves from person to person, it must have started somewhere, right?
The short answer is, we don't know. If I think far enough back, I can remember bits and pieces. I remember my first Pythian games, the day the idols split in two over Troy, the day my first son died. But before that, nothing. None of us do. I vaguely recall the very first Apollo many thousands of years ago, but was he the original? Did he appear out of the ether? I couldn't tell you.
Psst. Isn't it strange to not know where you come from? For all you know, the idols could be aliens.
外星人，这个概念也不错。
The notion that there might be some other place far away where we're the norm is comforting. Sadly, our memories are filled with blanks. There was a war with beings we called the Titans. A terrible conflict where half our number died, yet do I remember a single battle. The last was after Rome fell. Zeus called us together to relay the news, told us to prepare for battle. And then, in the blink of an eye, I was in the 16th century. What made us forget 1,000 years? What happened during that time? We don't know. Athena calls that period
那他们在罗马之
the
后
gap.
就几乎没记忆了，然后直到1000年后，所以中间有个历史断层。
The gap you mentioned. What was that like? Did you just wake up one day, or...?
I know I was alive. I passed on my eidolon who knows how many times, yet the moment I woke up, as you call it, all memory of that period was gone. It was Athena who found us. I was in France, I think. She came to my farm, and the moment I laid eyes on her, I just knew. It all came back. Did someone do that to us? Did we scatter to the winds for 1,000 years on purpose? It's a mystery.
Maybe.
What about Athena? I mean, she's the one who found you, right? She must have been aware.
Athena claims she awoke on her own and spent the next century locating the other idols. We've pieced together very little of the gap or of our origins. We simply live with it. Gods we may be, but I'm afraid we don't have all the answers.
Earlier you mentioned your son dying. Did I hear that right? Can idols have children?
It was rare, but yes. Back in ancient times, some of them even became idols themselves.
Some of the idols are actually family, then.
Not anymore. Most of our children met terrible ends, a gift of the fates, perhaps. I don't know. The ones who weren't idols, it's hard watching your children grow old and die. Never understanding why they can't have the same immortality you do, why you can't grant it to them. My first son is why I'm not permitted in Hades any longer. Let's simply say that most idols have stopped having children, and maybe leave it at that.
I'd like to know a little more about you. All I know is you live in a dump, you have an oracle, and you...
I'm not sure what to tell you. One day has bled into the next for so long I feel like I've been lost in the spaces in between.
Wow, that's a bit dramatic.
Yeah, well, it comes naturally. Music and the arts were once under my purview as a god.
How did that get
我希望
decided?
阿波罗某天
Did you
变
have a
成
big hat full of pieces of paper and you all picked at random?
变成
No, we chose
扫
them for
家里之神，
ourselves.
他真的需要好好
Some,
打扫
at
一下。
least. Others were given to us by our priests. We collected godly responsibilities like marbles.
People collect marbles?
Oh, or whatever it is mortals collect these days. Cars, perhaps? The point is, we took our godly duties very seriously.
You must have been very different back when you were a proper god.
I think most of us were. We saw ourselves as, I don't know, teachers. Mortals were our students, and we guided them to enlightenment. We thought we were special, infallible. I was as magnificent as the sun, and I surrounded myself with those who basked in my radiance.
That doesn't sound like you.
Yeah, I was arrogant. If there was a man or woman I desired, then I had to have them, or there would be consequences. You wouldn't have liked me. I wouldn't have liked me.
So what is Persephone's beef with you exactly? Is it just about what Hades did to her?
That's no small thing.
It seems more personal than that.
I mentioned how Persephone's kidnapping almost meant war between Olympus and Hades, yes? Well, while this was all going on, Persephone managed to escape the underworld, and I'm the one she encountered first.
Uh-oh.
Hades was hot on her heels, and I had a choice. Either do battle with Hades and start the war right then and there, or let him
我有
take
点
her
好
back.
奇，Hades
Zeus would have
还
had
活
my
着的时候，他
head
到底
if
长
I'd
什么样
sparked a
子？
war. Yet all I still think of are Persephone's eyes as Hades smugly took back his prisoner. It's not my finest moment.
Apollo, have you ever tried, I don't know, talking to someone about
我觉得
how you feel?
亚神去做心理
I
咨
will
商一定
never
会很好
understand
笑
this。modern fascination with therapy and focusing on one's feelings.
It might help. You never know.
Yes, I've tried it. There was one I used to speak to. Hecate enchanted him never to reveal what I told him.
还真的
I
试
don't know
过
that。unburdening myself to the man helped. It wasn't exactly trained for this sort of problem.
It is kind of hard to relate to a god, sure.
I do appreciate the thought. But I'm afraid muddling through is as good as it gets for us.
就这样吧。
That's all I can think of for now. I'll see you around.
Of course. I look forward to it.
好，我们可以去参加阿芙洛黛蒂的派对了。我们晚点再去圣地，现在不急。
Fancy party? Check. Bunch of strangers? Check. Grace totally not dressed for the occasion? Check. Now, if only I knew what I was supposed to be doing here.
Grace, you made it. I'm so glad. I was beginning to wonder.
You didn't say this was a fancy party. I feel a little underdressed.
Grace, look at me. I didn't even button up my shirt. It's fine.
好。
Why is everyone so quiet? You'd think someone died.
I should have told you about this earlier. I've been putting it off.
You're cute when you're all angsty. You get this little crinkle in your forehead.
You might not think I'm so cute after I explain. You don't have any of Calliope's memories, right? No deja vu recollections that aren't your own?
No.
没有。
Should I have?
Not right away. For a while, you won't remember anything. We call it the veil. In time, the veil will start to lift, slowly at first, but eventually you'll remember almost everything Calliope did.
我会怎样？
That's gotta be a lot of memories. She was what, 1,000 years old?
More than that. Much more.
Then what happens to me in my piddly 20-something years? It can't be good.
Eventually, it's like a flood. It becomes difficult to separate what's you and what's them, and all who came before them.
这会淹没原本的记忆吗
？You're saying I won't be me. I won't be Grace. Will I start calling myself Calliope?
Maybe. Eventually, most of us do, but most of us were chosen and prepared.
And I didn't choose this.
I understand. Take some time to let it sink in. If you like, we can talk about it later.
What does this have to do with the party?
Aphrodite hasn't been the same since we came to the New World. She has horrific memories of what she endured during the war. Passing on her eidolon is a way to forget, for a while. That's what this party is for.
When you say she's gonna pass on her eidolon, you mean...
She's going to die, yes, and pass her soul on to a chosen successor.
In front of everyone?
We're here to help, Grace. To make it easier for Aphrodite to do what she feels she must. We're here to say goodbye. At least for a while.
This isn't the first time Aphrodite's done this. She's held this kind of gathering before, right?
This is her fourth, I think, perhaps fifth.
So every time the veil, whatever you call it, when it starts to lift...
Aphrodite's memories return, and eventually it is too much. We gather to pay our respects and to honor the past. Well, she still remembers it.
这听起来不是好事。
Do you support what Aphrodite is doing here?
It's not my choice to make, Grace.
Yeah, but you must have an opinion.
Eventually you will remember what we experienced during the war, and eventually you will remember that what Aphrodite experienced was far worse. If this is the mercy she requires, I will not tell her she should not take it.
Wait. Calliope refused to come to these parties. That's what you said.
She refused on principle. Everything Calliope did was on principle. She believed Aphrodite was indulging her sadness, wallowing in it. She thought Aphrodite should try harder. It was a point of contention between them. Aphrodite will be grateful you're here. Trust me.
等一下，被我按到了。我懂了。虽然我的确也不太喜欢。
What did Aphrodite want Calliope to do? What did she want me to do?
Well, knowing Aphrodite, she'll want you to make a production of it all. She's not here just yet. Until she arrives, I suggest mingling.
我很喜欢阿波罗烧头的样子，还蛮
Talk to
可爱
Eros.
的。
Or we can talk more if you like. Just try to relax, Grace.
Sure, yeah. Relax. That's what this party is for, right?
Rose， 他是小天使，那个都是他照顾阿芙洛黛蒂的。
Grace.
Hey, Eros. Nice to...
哦，爸爸。
Oh, okay.
Aphrodite will be so happy you're here. It means so much you have no idea.
Are you okay? You seem a bit...
看起来不好。
Every time she does this, I don't know how to handle it. I almost want to run upstairs and demand she stop. Remind her that this never works. Sorry, I shouldn't unload on you. It's been a bad week.
from the sounds of it, this happens a lot.
Every 20 years or so.
20年一
That's
次
how long she can hold out until she just can't stand it anymore.
那绝对不可能像阿波罗说只有4-5次而已。
Aphrodite forgets, at least for a while. But I don't. I remember everything. I'm there for the nightmares, the panic attacks, the days she doesn't even remember the war's over. And now I'm arranging her gathering again, so she can die again. And I'll watch it all again.
Is it okay if I ask what happened? I don't mean to pry, but I'm new. I really don't know.
I know, but it happened to Aphrodite, not me. It's not my story to tell.
If I knew what she was dealing with, I might be able to help.
Could you? I suppose it wouldn't hurt.
拜托，
What happened is that Brother Ares happened. He missed out on the first world-spanning war, you see, so he was damned if he'd miss out on the next one. He found some jackbooted mortals so full of themselves and their supremacy, and he told them about the idols. Then they came for us. Took us completely by surprise. Some they killed, but Aphrodite, her they captured.
那我们的小天使好可怜啊！
Yeah,
小天使啊，虽然外表不是就是了。他逃出来了吗？
Aphrodite was captured, but she's here now. So she must have escaped.
she didn't. Do you know the name Hephaestus?
啊，我知道，工
Wasn't
匠
he a
之神。
smith of some kind? Giant hammer, lived in a mountain?
Some of that is mortal fancy, but yes. He was Aphrodite's husband, and he adored her beyond reason.
但是阿芙洛黛蒂不
When he
喜欢
found
他
out the mortals were torturing her, he went mad. He was determined to save her.
Wait, they tortured her?
Nothing extreme, I'm told. They were too frightened, but they were also determined to wring every last secret out of her. So, who knows how long that fear would have lasted. Thus,
爱神
Hephaestus
有什
made
么
a
好
deal.
怕的？
With the, jackbooted guys.
No, with their enemies. That's what saved her.
嗯，
Then this deal is how Aphrodite survived.
It's how we all survived. It's what brought us to the new world. Hephaestus saved us all. We never saw him again. That was the deal. He would leave, make their precious weapons, and never look back. Aphrodite never even got to say goodbye.
这说不定
It's funny,
工匠之神还活在
Because
这世界
Aphrodite
上
didn't
某个
even
地
like
方。
Hephaestus when they were married. She seemed to resent every minute they were together. But now he's all she can think about.
Is there no other way? Does Aphrodite really need to...
To die? I've asked that so many times. She's tried magic, drugs, psychotherapy, meditation, everything we could possibly think of. For a while, she'll deny anything's wrong. It all seems fine, and I start to hope. Maybe this time will be different. Then the nightmares begin, and the memories return. More with each passing day until... I hate it, but I see her agony. I can't deny her this.
Maybe I just don't understand, but... Isn't this... like suicide?
Some of the idols have committed suicide. They let themselves die without passing on their eidolon.
What happens?
What you'd expect. They're gone. Forever.
还
Mother
真
says she
有人
can't
这
do
样
that.
做过。
She won't. Not until she sees Hephaestus again, I suspect. Not that what's happening here is anything casual. She still has to die for a while.
You sound like you don't approve of what Aphrodite's doing.
What I want is for her to not hurt anymore. What I want is for this to end. She'll ask you to use your power as part of the celebration. Could you use it to inspire her?
I can't force anyone to do anything they don't want to, Eros.
That's not
可以
what I'm
试
asking.
试看。
I believe that deep down, she doesn't want to do this any longer. She must see it isn't
毕竟
working.
小天使帮
She
过
just
我
needs the
们，
strength to try.
我们应该
I
要
hope
试
that's
着
all she
帮
needs.
他。
I'll try, if you think it'll do some good.
I don't know if it will. I just find it hard to believe it could get any worse.
Famous last words.
Tell me about it. Do whatever you think is right, Grace. And thank you.
我们再跟阿波罗再谈谈。
I know all these people, Grace. For as long as I can remember, I've known them.
其实看起来
Yet
真人
sometimes I
还
feel
蛮
like
多
I
的
don't
哦
know any of them at all. Or they me.
You don't enjoy these family gatherings, do you?
Are they family gatherings? Like the sort mortals have?
嗯，
You
对
call
啊
each other sister and brother and mother.
Well, yes, but
And you've been together like 100 times longer than I lived with my family. All you're missing is a drunk uncle everyone has to apologize for.
that would be Pan. But yes, I feel very much out of place.
You look like you're in physical pain just being here.
Oh, enjoying my discomfort, are you?
Of course, it humanizes you. Makes up for all the abs on display.
I'm so glad you approve.
I spoke to Eros. He's pretty broken up over all this.
Oh, poor Eros. Each new successor, his hopes rise up once more. And then he watches the new Aphrodite crumble. Piece by piece. Only to start all over again. It's so different from the olden days. Once he was the eternal disaster, and Aphrodite kept constant vigil over him.
啊，毕竟他
Maybe
是
he
性爱之
feels
神
like he owes her.
I think he's followed her into a dark void and somewhere, deep down, believes he deserves no better.
I should get back out there.
好吧，我们就等阿芙洛黛蒂吧。希望我们可以帮 Eros 那个小天使，他真的很可爱。
My family. Having you all here, gathered once again to see me off, it moves me. More than I can say. My loves, my darlings, my dearest friends. And you. Oh, my dear sweet thing. I dare not hope that you, with all your troubles, might sing me to my sleep. Yet here you are. Yet here she is. Huh.
It's lovely to meet you, Aphrodite. Properly, this time.
Ah, yes. Poor Calliope. Such a loss to us all. I shall miss her dearly. To have come so far, only... No, it doesn't bear thinking about. It's too much.
Is this Grace, my lady? The new muse?
Oh, what manners I have. Grace, Grace, meet the lovely mortal woman who shall tonight become the new me.
Hi, my name's Venus, and yes, it really is Venus. Nice to meet you, Grace.
我们先好好的打个招呼。
Yeah, hi. Nice to meet you.
We'll both be new at this, huh? Maybe we could get together and compare notes if you,
Survive my trial?
Yeah. Lady Aphrodite told me. I shouldn't have brought that up. I'm sorry.
There will be so much time for you lovelies to speak later. Now, we must prepare for my departure.
Are you sure we can't talk first? I really need your help, Aphrodite.
I know you do, my dear. I wish I could be there for you, but I'm afraid my time is up. But since you've shown such kindness in coming, I will ask Eros to make himself available to you afterwards. There's nothing I know that he does not. He is my son, my truest friend, my longest love.
Won't he be a little distracted?
Eros has been through this before, Grace. He knows what must be done.
但是我真的很想劝你别这么做。
I was hoping I could talk you out of it, actually. Oh! Forgive my saying so, but you seem fine.
Yes, it might seem that way. Well, tell me, Grace, why should I let you try to talk me out of this, hmm?
Because Eros loves you? Do you have any idea what this puts him through?
I do know. I wish I could convince dearest Eros to find his own way, but he refuses to leave my side. My pain is his pain. The respite I seek is as much his as it is mine. Even so, tonight is not about the pain. It is about honoring the memory of what was while that memory still persists. Go, enjoy the gathering, Grace. Tell me when you're ready to begin.
那我觉得我们明确告知来意了。我们跟维纳斯谈谈。那个坐轮椅的那个。
I want to apologize again, Grace. I really messed up. It looks like I'll be doing that a lot. Lady Aphrodite said I'm ready, but I don't know.
Having second thoughts? If so, now's probably the time to mention it.
I would never do that to Lady Aphrodite. I'm just nervous.
That's understandable.
If I can ask, what does it feel like after it happens? Do you feel different?
I'm not sure. It happened so fast, I didn't know what to think. Calliope died, and then all this happened.
You didn't remember anything? About her? Who she was? She was just gone?
Yeah. Isn't that the point of all this?
I just wanted to be sure. Sometimes it doesn't seem like it could be real.
Your name's really Venus, huh?
Everybody asks me that. Even the other idols. Maybe that's why Lady Aphrodite noticed me in the first place. She says it was fated to be. I say it's because my mama was a diehard hippie.
Are you really okay with all this? You know what's gonna happen, right?
I saw a lot of people in crisis at the shelter. I knew something was wrong with Lady Aphrodite. She's in so much pain, Grace. She won't let you see how much.
Stray Gods.
Eros called me one night desperate.
混合音乐剧风格的文字冒险游戏。
She didn't know where she was. She's a good person, Grace. A good soul. She deserves mercy.
How do you know Aphrodite exactly?
So I was working at this homeless shelter, right? A couple of years ago, and she came in with one of the older residents. And she was there in this, amazing dress. And she's sitting with this guy and really listening to him. like they were old friends or something. I just thought, what is someone like her doing in a place like this? So I just went over and introduced myself.
That's it? Just like that?
Yeah. She came back to the shelter a few times, but by then, I guess she'd taken an interest in me instead.
最近开学时间上比较难对上。哦，对啊，开学之后大家都会变得很忙，廉价。魔爪，说到魔爪，我应该说我有喝过提神饮料，但我每次都把提神饮料当成就是一般的饮料，因为我发现对我来讲好像没什么效果。
But don't you feel this is wrong? I mean, you're ending your life. It's like some kind of murder-suicide pact.
I don't think of it like that. Lady Aphrodite is not committing suicide, and I'm not being murdered.
Aren't you? Your life is ending. It's being taken over, swallowed up by Aphrodite's grief.
I'm becoming part of something bigger, something amazing. Or maybe you're right. It'll be terrible, and I'll end up in so much pain I'll regret it.
So why go through with it?
Because Lady Aphrodite needs me. Maybe, just maybe, if I'm added into the mix of all the people she's been, maybe things will be different.
你不喜欢蛮牛，很难喝。魔爪和奇冻我没喝过，其实我只有喝过魔爪跟红牛，然后两个味道对我来讲其实差不了多少，就是那种很气泡饮料的感觉。哦，还有那个什么维大利，因为其实维大利也是某种类似提升气泡饮料类似的东西。我知道奇冻是台湾，奇冻好像是前阵子新出的新品牌，我没试过它的那个味道是什么。其实严格上来讲，他们就是高浓度 B 群的气泡饮料，应该说碳酸饮料，类似维大利的味道吗？那应该味道不会差太多。我们再找阿波罗谈一谈。
Back again.
I don't think I'll have a chance to talk to Aphrodite. Not before, you know.
I was hoping she might have spared a moment.
What should I do?
You have two choices, Grace. Either you do as she asks and sing her to her rest.
At which point Venus won't have Aphrodite's memories yet.
Or you somehow convince her to remain with us and hope she's grateful.
我们要为了小天
And
使，
doesn't regret it. Or get
所以
angry at
我
me
们
for
会选第二
ruining
个
her
方
party.
案。
Do what you feel is right. It's a risk either way.
Have you spoken with Venus? She seems really...
Nice, earnest, a genuinely good person.
Yeah, I suppose.
It's not an accident. Ever since the war, Aphrodite has sought out the kindest, the most innocent souls to be her successors. She chooses them because she believes that over time, it might make her a better person. A more worthy person.
Wouldn't it be better if she chose people who were, I don't know, more resilient?
I suppose that depends on your definition of strength, Grace.
I should get back out there.
高浓度 B 群加牛磺酸，我知道有一些人会为了熬夜吃 B 群，但是我不觉得那个有效。好，我们就开始仪式了。我们一定要想办法帮小天使，毕竟他希望不想看
I have
阿芙洛黛
tried
蒂继
so
续痛
hard,
苦下去。
fought for so long, but in the end, I must bid you all farewell once again. But before I go, I would like us all to remember the sacrifices that brought us here to this strange new world. This time, it is with the help of our lovely muse that we shall be guided. We let them rise. We let it happen. We waited far too long. We thought we shouldn't intervene. We were wrong. We were wrong. Since the beginning we were hidden. We held court from up above. 'Twas the golden age of reason, and I the queen of love. But a plague of hate was spreading, and there were vultures standing by. Before we fell to our knees begging, we fell from the sky. We let them rise, we let it happen.
这首开始
We
好像还蛮好
waited
听的。
far too long. We thought we shouldn't intervene. We were wrong. We were wrong. We had revelry and rebirth, a family all together, till 13 million marching men cut us down forever. But Brother Ares made it happen, joined their war without dispute. Now the once mighty immortals are just mud under a boot. We let them take our loved ones, it's what they wanted all along. We thought they were beneath us, we were wrong, we were wrong. Oh, the power of the idols pounds within your
是
chest.
阿波罗来
But
帮
for
忙的。
now I am in mourning for a love gone unexpressed. He was harder than the chisel. I was a horrid block of ice. A winter's chill that stayed until he made his sacrifice. The man that I ignored saved me when I fell. Yes, the husband I abhorred rescued me from hell. I thought it was a joke when it was said to me. He struck a deal with our enemy's enemy, made a secret weapon so my captors let me go. He gave up his freedom, leaving just a memory, and this love I'll never know is what he gave to me.
I can see everything, it's interesting why you feel so blue. Because of the horror show from long ago, there ain't no getting through. A husband who sacrificed and paid the price for you to be free. Wherever he is right now, you'd think somehow that...
Excuse me.
Sorry, I'm on a roll. I don't
我
pretend
才
to
知道中
know
途
the
突然被
mind
打
of
断的
a
桥段。
god. That's something I
比较
never
爵士的
thought
曲
I'd
风。
say. I'm not the only one here who wants to know. Is leaving now the only way to go?
Who put you up to this? Dionysus left us long ago. What's more puzzling? My suffering's all part of a show. Behold the mind of a child. who'll never know how much we sacrificed. Venus will keep me safe, and I will know.
哇，等等，为什么这边是英文的？
20-year slumber's the only way to go.
Don't you write anything down? Is there a statue of Hephaestus in town? Or is history just a record that slowly gathers dust? You gotta turn it up loud so the player doesn't rust. Because I find the story so unique, I'll sing in plain speak. You rest leaves the rest of your family stressed and depressed. They repress, so we'll only digress. I'm impressed by the sense of occasion, I guess. But this mess of a quest to possess is grotesque. It's happened to me, and I'll never know when Calliope inside of me surfaces. So I request that your guests reassess the process. And unless you address all this godly excess, we'll continue to guess while you repossess. And I won't acquiesce till a change manifests. I'm out. Sometimes taking a breath's the only way to go. Considering the options left, it's the only way to go. What is the only way to go?
I'm stunned by the arrogance, but eloquent sparks something in me. If you honestly can promise me all the help I need, I'll be the kind of a guy you'll worship and adore like before. Thank you, Venus, a brilliant cameo.
And together we will face it, 'cause forgetting won't erase it.
Moving on's the only way to go. The only way to go.
Yay！ 看来我们成功了。
Mother, is it true? You've chosen to...
Live. I have chosen to live.
哦，我们的小天使有够可爱。
I'm so sorry, Venus. I made you so many promises, dearest, and I won't be able to keep them.
My lady, all I ever wanted was for you to be happy. If this is your wish, I'll be with you at every step.
I as well. Always.
若是真的有够
I hope
可爱。
none of us regret this choice in the days to come. But thank you.
It has to be better than doing the same thing over and over.
Does it? It could also be far worse.
Don't talk like that, Mother. We can fight this.
I'm so very tired, my loves, but I will. I'll try. Now then, Grace. You needed my help. No doubt regarding Calliope's death. Have you any suspicions as to who might be responsible?
For starters, it has to be one of the idols.
Oh? What makes you think that?
It had to be someone who knew Calliope and wanted her gone, with enough knowledge and power to fool the chorus. They didn't plan for Calliope to get away. I was an accident. They covered up everything else so well.
That's very clever. You may be right.
You're thinking of Medusa, aren't you?
Say?
I haven't met anyone by that name. Is that an idol?
Not an idol, per se, but she is immortal. She came over with us from the old world.
She works for Athena as a watcher. She's everywhere, lurking in the shadows. If you look anywhere, Grace, start with her.
Come now, Mother. It's time you rested. It's been a long night.
If I don't, I suppose you'll both gang up on me again. Very well.
耶，好耶！ 我觉得至少我们完成
So,
了。
did they have anything helpful?
Maybe. What do you know about Medusa?
I know she's dangerous, but she does Athena's bidding.
How sure are you of that?
I'm not sure of anything any longer. You aren't thinking of seeking her out, I hope.
如果能找
I
到
am.
的话，
Do you know where she is?
Not really, no. Medusa makes it her business to stay out of sight. Athena employs her as a spy master, a hound to do her bidding, a vicious hound at that. Athena's not likely to tell either of us where to find Medusa. I can't say for certain who would know. Are you all right, Grace? You seem troubled.
What Aphrodite went through, it's a lot.
Yeah, that's the funny thing about the life of an immortal. It never ends.
Wow. Way to really sell it, Apollo.
You really are amazing, you know that? Every hurdle, every piece of unpleasant news, you just keep on going. I don't know how you do it.
It kind of helps that I don't have a choice.
I just wish I could see the world through your eyes. Next to you, I feel very old.
我有点想跟他说，你的确老了，但是，好，那这个选项呢，好像，但是严格上来讲，哎呀，阿波罗，你的确很老了啦。
How about you come with me sometime? Let me show you the world I see.
A tempting offer.
Sounds kind of corny, huh?
It really doesn't. I would love that. Can we go now?
Hey, I'm game if you are.
My hand for a minute. Let
我
your
可以偷偷说，
head
这是
down
整
for
部
a
游戏里面我最喜欢的歌。
There's so much to like if you open your eyes. If you try to search for the light, you might be surprised. No, it's not hard to find. The courage you need to be joyful is something you build over time. No matter what I do, the answer's in you. But I will be here for the ride. Yes, I will be here for the ride.
I'll take your hand for a minute. Oh, it's more than I feel I deserve. It could grow on me, this world that you see. Yet I've been alive for too long. 1,000 years of learning about what could go wrong. I'm tired of being wrong.
Come on, dude, there's gotta be an ounce of hope in you. That's all you need to finally see. There's so much here to love, and so many ways to have fun. The courage you need to be joyful.
I appreciate the
Something I'll
campaign.
come help you find.
If I ever let her know.
No matter what I do, the answer's in you.
The answer's
But
in
I'll hold your hand all
me.
the while.
Courage you need to be joyful. It's something you build over time. No matter what I do, the answer's in you. I will be here for the ride. Yes, I will be here for the ride.
好，我们还有圣地要去，这是忙碌的一天。 哎，等等，还是我们要先跟 Freddy 谈谈？我觉得我们可以先跟 Freddy 谈谈，然后再决定要不要去圣地。
Hey, hey, so what's the news, Miss Muse?
Miss Muse.
Well, does a muse have a proper form of address? I just want to hear what exciting adventures you've been having.
Well, I stopped the goddess of love from killing herself, I guess.
Whoa. Do gods have interventions? You know, they're nothing like I thought they would be. Everything else okay, though? Do we know who the killer is yet?
Not just yet, no.
Okay, well, let me know if there's anything I can do. If I have to hustle to become your high priestess, well, so be it.
Exactly how much do you know about the Greek gods, Freddy?
I know my Greek mythology, but what I've read clearly doesn't line up with who they are today. Or who they ever were, maybe.
Still might be useful. There's gotta be some truth to those stories, right?
Maybe? Who do you want to hear about?
每个都问问看。
What about Apollo?
Okay, so the prophecy stuff checks out. Apollo was god of the sun and light, but also kind of enlightenment in general. He's always talked about as this beautiful and cultured god involved with the arts and the muses, kind of a Renaissance man before the Renaissance.
He's clearly had a rough time since those days.
Well, he was also a giant horn dog, Grace. I can list off like a dozen men and women Apollo has had as lovers, and there's probably more.
Weren't they all like that, though?
I mean, Apollo's no Zeus. He never assaulted anyone as a swan. And no, they aren't all like that. Our sun god had a reputation.
好，接下来是
Tell me what you know about Persephone.
Honestly, she's the least like her stories. Usually, she's either a victim or just the wife of Hades, or both.
And that's it? She was kidnapped by Hades, end of story?
Pretty much. Her mother was so angry, she created winter. But otherwise, Persephone was just your average sweet and virginal fertility goddess.
You're right, that doesn't sound like her at all.
Must be hard to be defined by this one thing that happened to you thousands of years ago. I'd be pissed if everyone thought my story ended there.
Well, she is pretty pissed. That much is true. Do you know anything about the Muses? Or Calliope in particular?
Yeah, for starters, there were supposed to be 9. Though I guess there are some sources that said there were only 4, maybe 3. Each of the muses had her specialty. Did you know that Calliope is supposed to be the muse of epic poetry? She inspired the Odyssey.
Wow. I don't even like poetry.
Yeah, it was said her singing voice was unmatched. So they got that part right, at least.
Did she also lead the ancient Greeks in giant choreographed dance numbers?
No, but she once turned a bunch of snobby princesses into magpies, so there's that.
You said Pan was some kind of lust god, right?
Kind of. Pan's a god of the wild, and I guess that translates into a sort of lustfulness and earthiness, humping nymphs in the forest sort of thing.
And you don't like him?
Honestly, he's exactly what I'd expect him to be. All the stories say he's a lech and a beast. The Christians equated him with the devil.
对，这就是为什么在基督教里面，魔鬼是羊蹄的。
Anyhow, there's a great statue depicting Pan having sex with a goat. Next time you see him, you gotta ask him about it.
Well,
just how many of these gods are there? From what I've heard, lots of idols live around here.
Well, there are tons of minor gods in Greek mythology, hundreds even, depending on how you define them. Oddly, there's never any mention of the word idols in relation to them. Maybe it's like how people worshipped idols?
I sort of assumed it was related to the eidolon.
Which is a Greek word, but I think it means ghost. An image of someone after they die.
Makes sense.
Me? I'm more amazed at all the big names missing. Not just Zeus and Hades, most of the Olympians seem to be gone. Makes you think about what's been lost. But also, what might still be out there.
What about Athena? Is she really supposed to be the goddess of wisdom?
Sure, but mostly that's meant as tactical knowledge. Athena wasn't all sweetness and light. She was a warrior goddess. She was also the goddess of heroes. There are loads of stories where Athena helps guys like Odysseus or Jason or Perseus.
No female heroes back in those days?
Yeah, guess not. Women were the weaker sex, which maybe is why Athena was portrayed as being
神话里面的女
vindictive.
性都
She
还蛮
cursed
容易嫉
Medusa, one of
妒
her
人
own
的。
priestesses. She turned people into spiders, struck them blind, started the Trojan War. It's the whole thing.
Not being as wise as advertised is on brand for her then.
他说希腊神都
You think there
还
might be
蛮
other
容易
gods out
嫉
there?
妒的。
There are all those gods the idols say wandered off. We don't know they're dead for sure, right? They could be living it up in Australia. Who would know? Then there are all the other mythologies, hundreds of cultures, each with their own pantheon. So what's so special about the Greeks? That only their gods are real, right? And all those other pantheons could be living in secrecy, just like the idols. And that means they're hidden from each other, too. Oh, they could be
这样官方
everywhere
用
and
这
no
个点
one
子
would
当就是
know.
第二，
It's like a whole other
Dear
secret
fool.
side to the world.
如果有的
That's
话，
cool, right? I hope I get to meet Ganesha one day. Or maybe Lakshmi?
你想想看，就是希腊神是第一部，然后第二部我们可以选了像他讲的印度神或北欧神，我觉得很不错。然后再来中
I
国
wonder how
神
much of those
话，
stories are true.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I'm giving you the quick version. There are reams of textbooks out there covering all this, but even they rarely agree with each other.
Really? Nothing definitive?
Ancient Greece was 3,000 years ago, Grace. Not much information survived all that time, if it was even valid to begin with.
You know what I find weird? That the idols have managed to remain completely secret all these years. Sure, they have magic and whatnot, but in all this time, nobody's found them out? Athena is that good?
Who says nobody has found them out? The way I see it, it's like UFOs.
Okay, I have to hear this.
Okay, so you could have real evidence that UFOs exist and that governments have covered it up and people still wouldn't believe it. Why? Because they'd get laughed at if they admitted it. Imagine the headline, Greek gods exist and are living among us. What website would even run that?
Weird conspiracy ones. Yeah, you're right. What are Kaz and Brian up to? You didn't tell them anything, did you?
No, I told them you came home, that you're okay, but that you're having a moment. They send their love.
Should we tell them, do you think?
What for? They have their own problems. Plus, Brian can't keep a secret to save his life, and Kaz is officially homeless.
Is he still crashing on Brian's couch?
Grace, you do know that Brian doesn't have a couch, right? Just some giant beanbag things.
Oh.
Yeah, that's cute. They'll tell us when they're ready. But right now, it's best just to not mix them up in this.
I should really apologize about the band. This kind of puts a dent in your plans, doesn't it?
You're right, Grace. How dare you sabotage my dreams? I am so mad I could spit.
You know what I mean. Nobody could have seen this coming, sure, but it's always been something with me.
Well, as I see it, there are two ways this goes down. One, neither of us gets back to the band. It was just a thing we did for a while before I founded a cult in your name. Or two, we get back to it and the band now has the Muse as its lead singer. Edge of Elysium becomes the coolest and most appropriate band name ever.
为什么不管怎样都听起来有点怪？
Look, Grace, you can't be the source of all the drama and name the band, okay? That's the rule.
Okay, that's enough questions for now.
听起来都很邪教。 刚才那两个选项
I'll check back with you soon, Freddy. Time for more mystery solving.
好，我们接下来要去圣地堂。啊，它竟然是一个货柜舱吗？
When I opened that shipping container, I was expecting, I don't know, rats.
Yeah.
Instead, we have. Where the hell are we?
It's hard to say. Weren't we going to some kind of library?
对啊，我是这么听说的。
That's how Pan described it. He said it was a, what's the word? A reliquary?
That is where relics are kept, like magic items, like when we played D&D.
This is nothing like D&D.
Well, I don't know about you, Grace, but if a dragon came flying out of that mist, I would not be the least bit surprised.
You are such a nerd.
Speaking of, how much do you actually know about Hecate and this idol you're supposed to help?
就跟我讲讲。
Do you know anything about this Hecate? It's not a name that rings bells.
Let's see. Well, she was the goddess of witchcraft, the really dark kind.
Oh.
But she's never really portrayed as evil. She was more of an outsider, lived alone, off in her little corner of the underworld. Do you think that's where we could be? Oh, that is so cool. Oh, I bet knowledge is important to her. It could be an angle if you talk to her.
I'm so glad I brought you, Freddie. I wouldn't know the first thing about any of this.
Nah. Well, I hope it's actually helpful to tell you these things.
Why wouldn't it be?
Well, 'cause it could all be wrong. I would have never pegged Apollo for a surfer dude with confidence issues.
Huh. Yeah, good point. The idol we're here to help is named Asterion.
And you know who that is, right?
No.
No. Should I?
That's the Minotaur's real name. You know, big bullhead, horns, lives in a giant labyrinth.
Pan did not mention that.
Why am I not surprised?
This Minotaur. You don't think he might be dangerous, do you?
Well, traditionally he eats people, but he was also supposed to have been slain by the hero Theseus.
Well, not so slain after all. Pan says he has a problem with his love life.
Maybe he needs to stop eating all his girlfriends? Okay, I knew that sounded wrong the moment I said it.
这很好笑，但有点惊世骇
We
俗。
should go inside instead of standing out here in the fog.
It's more of a mist, really.
A mist potentially full of monsters.
In we go, then. Are you really planning on doing that favor for Pan?
If I can, sure. Why not?
Because Pan, that's why not?
I thought you were over that.
Okay, I hope you're right. Let's go meddle in someone's love life. What could go wrong?
哦，等等，黑卡蒂也太大只了。的确是个大图书馆。
I guess the Titan thing is literal, huh?
Mortals within the reliquary. Who permits this intrusion, this sacrilege? This knowledge is not meant for the likes of you. I shall grind you into the dust from whence you came.
But I'm not mortal! Wow, does that sound weird coming out of my mouth?
You, perhaps, but the one with you? Mortals cannot learn of the knowledge kept here. Not ever!
Freddie's not just any mortal. She's special. And she already knows about the idols.
We have been revealed. We are undone!
What? No, not undone. I swear, I can go if you want. I will. I'm not gonna tell a soul. It's enough that I even got to see this place. It is so amazing. It's like the Great Library of Alexandria, which, you know, was destroyed, and one of the greatest tragedies of human history.
I have created this sanctuary at great cost. Knowledge is fragile and must be respected.
Maybe we should start over. My name's Grace. It's a pleasure to meet you.
No, you cannot be Grace.
Sure am.
Then Calliope is dead. Is that now? I thought that was not for another 11 months yet.
啊？什么意思？
Wait, what? You knew Calliope was going to die?
No, I am not informed of this for another 11 months and 3 days.
Or I could just tell you now?
That cannot be. It is written. Yes, it's right here. Calliope joins Grace's band. They become friends. Months later, there is an automobile accident and...
An accident? No, that's not what happened.
Are you saying the books are wrong?
They're wrong about this. Calliope was murdered just a few days ago.
That is impossible.
I don't know what to tell you.
You will explain. We will both sit and you will explain. There will be tea. Curious. It is clear something unanticipated has occurred, something outside the realm of fate.
Is that even possible?
It is, but I must follow the threads back to their source to find the origin of the deviation. It may take years of research.
Years? I don't have years.
That is unfortunate. If there is nothing else, I must ask you both to leave so I may begin at once.
Is there no way to speed that up? Whoever's behind it might be the murderer.
Such threads are not so easily untangled. I must consult the Moirai, if indeed they are not the ones responsible.
The Moi what?
You might know them as the Fates. They, or any beings of a sufficiently cosmic nature, have the power to undo the order of things.
That does not sound good.
Certainly not. They are also not beings I can summon at a whim to solve your mystery. I am sorry.
Actually, I came here to speak to Asterion. If, he is here.
A visitor for Asterion? How strange.
Oh,
他真的是扭扭耶
doing guests? Is that a thing? I didn't know.
Wow, okay. Freddie was right.
As if there was any doubt.
My old friend, this is Grace. She is our muse from the line of Calliope, and it is she who asked for you.
Hi there. Can we talk? Somewhere in private?
Talk? What, you and me? Why? What about?
You know, about a delicate matter that maybe you needed help with?
Oh, nope. No, I have no idea what you're talking about. No delegates here.
There you have it, Grace. I believe now is the time when you leave.
But there must be some mistake.
There is no mistake. Not this time.
Are you sure about that? Because I'm not going.
It is written.
Did you hear that? Pan sends me all this way and Asterion won't even talk to us?
Maybe there's another Asterion?
Yeah, more likely Pan's got me chasing my tail. This was pointless.
Well, I don't think we're getting back inside. Do you have another plan?
I go back to Pan and tell him the Minotaur didn't want a favor after all.
I guess, but didn't it seem really odd to you that, do you hear what I'm hearing?
Oh, you're still here? I had to run the entire... Oh, that's a long way, isn't it? I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to send you away, all right? I just couldn't tell you, not in front of Kate.
Kate?
Kate? You don't mean... Oh, that is so cute.
I heard what you said about Calliope. I can help you. I really, really can. It has to be you. I am so in love with my dear sweet Kate. I just don't know how to tell her. Please, help me tell her.
Are you really the Minotaur? Like, the monster who roamed a maze and ate people?
And is supposed to be dead?
Well, my father locked me up in a labyrinth, but I never ate anyone.
Oh, well, that's good.
Except Theseus. But he was a bellend.
好。
Let me get this straight. You're in love with Hecate. That Hecate.
Oh, mate, Kate is... She's just the best. Like, she knows everything and she always smells so good. Like, she's so nice to me and she doesn't even have to be. Oh, we got stuck in the tower together because we can't live in the mortal world. I know I could make her happy. Well, I want to try. Oh, won't you help me?
Have you tried, I don't know, talking to her about how you feel? I take that as a no.
I don't have the words. I've tried. Every time I end up knocking over a table or killing a cat or talking about how sometimes meat has that grisly texture I don't like.
You killed her cat? Oh, no.
It was a small cat. I panicked. I'm just not good at words, right? Really not good.
Do you really call Hecate Kate? Off topic, I know, but I have to ask.
Well, sometimes she has to go into the mortal world for a short time and do things for Athena.
Uh-huh. And...
Well, she had to make up a magic disguise, a new identity. And I thought she should give it a proper name.
And you suggested Kate?
Yeah, she really liked it. She said, "Thank you, Asterion."
米洛陶也太可爱了吧，就是那种很痴情的角色。哦，对了，顺带一提，米洛陶的声优是原版的跟电影版吉屋出租的 Mark 的演员。
Okay, so you're in love with Hecate. What is it you think I can do?
A muse knows about poetry and the heart and how to make words beautiful. All I want is to ask her, but I need good words. Please say you'll help me.
Hecate might say no. You know that, right?
Well, she probably will. I mean, she's Kate. And I'm me. But just once, I'd like to be able to ask her, to say it out loud instead of thinking it. I'll still help you, no matter what she says. I promise.
I don't know. Doesn't this feel a little weird?
Which part?
Helping him woo her with my powers.
You heard what Pan said. You can't make anyone do anything they don't want to do. You can only make them say what's in their heart.
Yeah, that's the part I can't do.
I do this and you'll help me in return, right?
Athena made Kate swear she's not allowed to say anything about what happens at the tower. But she never made me swear. Maybe she never thought anyone would ask. But I'll tell you, even if Kate doesn't like it, I'll tell you.
If I do this first.
If you help me, any trouble will be worth it.
I can't say I'm exactly sure what to do.
Can't you just, start the music?
Yeah, but to do what?
Oh, leave that to me. I am so excited about this, I can't even stand it.
What exactly did you have in mind, Freddie?
还真的直接开始啊！
I'm not great at words. I'm more of a dancer.
Just speak from the heart. Be honest. You can do it.
等一下，米洛陶说他会跳舞，我也好奇，我想看他跳舞的样子。
You cast a spell on me. Not literally, obviously.
地板的花纹是迷宫图案。
Summary, you and me are meant to be. 'Cause you put a hex on me. You didn't do it to me directly. I'm not blaming you specifically, just that metaphorically. Shit, can someone help me? Right off the bat, I'm done. 'Cause you've gone all quiet, it's deafening silence. I'm just joking, having fun. So let's ignore that bit before.
this would come. It was written, a confession unbidden. You say that you're smitten, perhaps you're possessed. I have one request. Is this real how you feel, or is this part of some elaborate jest?
It's not, my love.
My love?
Yes, keep going. Try again.
You've cast a spell on me. It's a feeling that's killing me. But let's say categorically, oh Katie, it's just you and me. Katie, yeah, that's what I've always called you. It sounds juvenile, but that name makes me smile.
米洛陶，你要更有自信点。
Tell you. Anyways, as friends, I'm only a fraction of what I can be. I mean, I'll still make you tea, but don't you want more than tea?
Is this what you truly wish to do? This love could easily fall through. Imagine if we ceased to be. It's a possibility, don't you see?
Oh god, he's looking pretty bad.
Hecate, it could be this spell on me has blinded my eyes from what you can see. If there's even the smallest possibility of losing you somehow, I'll take it back now. I'm finished, could someone please rescue me? This is a disaster, Grace, help me!
好啦，好啦，好啦。
Hecate, if you don't mind, I'll take the floor because I feel obliged to help this minotaur. He's a bit absurd, he gets stuck on a word, but he flies like a bird when you walk in the door. Could the love of your life be right under your chin? Well, there's no need to guess, he's already moved in.
Please understand, Grace, it's not him I can't face. My heart is a difficult place to admire. Hot coals at its core, burned so many before, yet he carries this torch, unaware of the fire. I'm tempted, but what you're all telling me is nothing will go wrong, for it's destiny. Have you truly considered this carefully? Black magic takes a toll, and if you lose control, the cost is paid by reality. Is my heart worth everything going amiss? I cannot protect you from the dark abyss, so don't dismiss, just resist.
You think that I don't know the darkness inside of me. You know the stars, but do you remember your history? I love the person I have become. You changed me. Come with me. Come with me.
我现在表情跟旁边的 Freddy 一样，就是啊。
Come with me. Come with me.
Asterion.
Kate?
It seems you've cast a spell on me.
You will not regret this.
Not yet. It is written. You've cast a spell on me. To think I shall have my own story. You've cast a spell on me. And we shall write it together. You've cast a spell on me. A tale of romance and glory. You've cast a spell on me. But do we
have enough leather.
You've cast a spell on me.
Oh yay!
Well, that was diverting. You felt this way the entire time, Asterion, and you said nothing?
I didn't think I was worthy. I mean, look at me. I'm only, half a man.
You have been a devoted friend over the long and lonely years, Asterion. I only wish I had realized sooner we could have been more. As for you, Grace, I thank you for arranging this diversion, however it came to pass.
I don't get it. Didn't you know this would happen? Wasn't it written?
Of course it was. It was also written that I would be unaware of Asterion's feelings until he spoke them to me.
But you knew that.
I follow the rules. It is written.
Oh.
You have Freddie to thank. It was her idea.
A mortal with a clever idea. How novel.
Thanks.
You will need to visit again in the future. There will be tea. Come, Asterion, I wish to speak of this further, and find an appropriate outfit.
Hey, wait for me outside, yeah?
Okay.
How long are we supposed to wait? It's been over an hour.
I'm sure it's fine, Grace. I doubt the Minotaur would break his promise. See? What'd I tell you?
Whew. You still here? I'm sorry. Kate had a lot to say.
Everything's okay, I hope?
Oh, yeah. Oh, it was so wonderful. Kate just wanted to talk about feelings and that, which, well, neither of us are good at. Right, so, I suppose you want to know how Calliope broke into the reliquary that night.
She did what?
No, we didn't know anything about that. Do you mean the night she died?
Oh, well, I thought you already knew. Yeah, the night Calliope died, she broke in somehow. Thing is, we know she didn't take anything or even touch anything. I just remember the alarms, and I chased after her.
Did you say the reliquary has alarms? Like burglar alarms, cameras?
Oh, no, nothing like that. It just has a lot of protections. Magic.
I don't know magic, actually.
Oh, well, it's just meant to keep the dangerous stuff from being touched. It was set off, so something happened in the reliquary. We just, don't know what exactly.
How do you know Calliope didn't touch or take anything?
Kate knows everything in the reliquary, right down to the last book. She's been looking, but she can't figure if anything was touched. It makes her so mad not to know. And it made Athena pretty mad too.
Athena got involved?
Yeah, when Kate finally told her, Athena wants Kate to keep investigating, but it doesn't look good.
Athena knows what happened here the night Calliope died?
Yeah, Kate told her a day or so later, I think. We didn't know Calliope died that night, though.
What? Athena didn't mention it?
Not that that's weird. She's not the chatty type, She came in all quiet and cool, wanted to know who was here that night and what Calliope might have wanted. She swore Kate to silence. Not me, though. Guess she's not as smart as Kate.
你现在说智慧女神竟然没有那么聪明。
Those alarms don't go off if someone breaks into the reliquary? They don't detect intruders?
Well, normally nobody does that.
Well, Calliope did. She got in somehow.
Well, she must have snuck in the back way. Where do you think I keep running from? Whatever Calliope did here, it was enough to set off the alarms. That's all I know.
You chased Calliope, but did you ever catch up with her?
No.
if I'd have caught her, I'd have brought her back and Kate would have gotten answers out of her. All I know is that she was hurt, bleeding bad, but I don't know why. I wanted to help her, but she got away in the fog. Then I ran into Medusa.
Wait, what? Medusa? Here?
Yeah. Well, she's not normally here. I think maybe she was chasing after Calliope too.
How could Calliope have been wounded?
I don't know. Maybe Medusa did it. Probably not, though. I never saw Medusa near the reliquary, just out in the fog, so she never even got that close.
So whatever happened to Calliope happened inside the reliquary?
I guess. But we don't have anything that would attack anyone. Especially not an idol.
So someone else. But they did it inside the reliquary.
If so, they vanished after.
What was Medusa doing here?
She was chasing after Calliope too, I think, but she wouldn't say why. I asked.
Seems pretty convenient. Her just out there suddenly.
Yeah, that part's weird. I've never seen her near the reliquary before.
Couldn't Medusa have broken in like Calliope did?
Yeah, but I chased Calliope from the reliquary. If Medusa had been there, I would have seen her.
有道理。
What relics are there? Maybe Calliope was looking for one but couldn't find it before...
Yeah, that I'm not supposed to say.
Do you have the golden fleece, the shield of Zeus, the sword of Damocles? Is it suspended?
You know a lot about that stuff for a mortal.
So it's all real?
I can neither confirm nor deny any of that. All I know is that nothing got used and nothing got taken.
This means Calliope came here the night she died. This is where she was attacked.
But we don't know by whom.
Well, this is the second time Medusa's name has come up. That can't be a coincidence.
Well, she's super scary, but, she works for Athena, right? I thought maybe that's why she was here, but Athena said she didn't know about it.
That does seem suspicious.
If that's all you need, then I have to go. Kate will be so mad if she finds me gone. Good luck, Muse.
You okay there, friendo?
I'm okay. We learned a lot. I just wish I knew why Calliope was here in the first place.
Maybe that's a question for Medusa.
Sure, if only I knew where to find her.
One thing at a time, Grace. You'll figure it out. I know you will.
I guess so. Next thing is to go back to Pan. Tell him his favor is done.
What an adventure.
Sorry?
You're just lucky, Grace. Luckier than you think. You go do what you have to, and I'll meet you back at the apartment, okay?
Okay.
Pan! I hope you're here, because I don't know where else to look for you.
Of course I'm here, Grace. Where else would I be but amongst the trees and the wild things? I really must thank you, by the by. Asterion is simply over the moon, and he's already repaid me with this select tome from the reliquary.
Huh?
That's why you did all this? Because you wanted some book?
Not just some book, but a tome from the forbidden depths.
I doubt Hecate would be pleased.
Oh, most assuredly not. Neither would Athena, which makes it all the more delicious. I trust you got what you needed. More grist for the mill of your innocence, as it were.
You already knew I would, right?
Oh? Did I?
Come on, Pan. How stupid do you think I am? The place you sent me for this favor just happens to be where Calliope was attacked. You had to know I'd discover that. If you wanted me to know, why not just tell me? What's the angle? Tell me why I shouldn't be suspicious, Pan.
You have no reason to be suspicious. I know nothing of what happened to Calliope at the reliquary. I suppose the question at the heart of this is, do you believe me?
Ah. 我们偷偷故意跟他调情会发生什么事？我有点好奇。
You're enjoying this, aren't you? This tit for tat, back and forth.
I'll enjoy it if you're enjoying it.
Well, I'm not enjoying it.
Oh my, aren't you a delight? Even if you haven't answered the question, don't think I didn't notice. I've never lied to you, Grace, and I never shall. If you're looking for innocence, however, well, I'm afraid that's one thing I cannot provide.
What if I discover you're lying to me after all?
You'll do what you do, and I'll do what I do, and we'll see where that takes us.
I hope it's somewhere good. Somewhere I'm not on trial.
Oh, my. You do know how to spoil the mood, don't you? If I can make a suggestion, live the high life. Throw caution to the wind.
That's your suggestion?
And why not? Is it a devotion to sweet, sad Apollo that makes you hesitate? Take my hand, Grace. Take my hand.
抱歉，我
You
更
don't
喜欢
know
阿波
anything
罗。
about what Apollo means to me.
I know there are better ways to spend your time before you...
Before I die? You don't have any hope for me, do you? You're just taking what you can get before it's over.
抱歉，潘，
You'll
你
want to
太
find
油条了。
Medusa, I suppose.
Yeah, her name keeps coming up.
You'll find Medusa at a dingy little club appropriately named the Viper's Nest. Give her my regards. But
你们对
do
夜
be
店
careful if you call on her
点名的
Grace.
评论很差
Medusa
耶，
is a hideous monster
都太明显了
and。should be treated as such.
好，我们再去跟阿波罗谈谈。我觉得跟他谈完先差不多到这里，我们等下一集再去找
Hello
Medusa。
again. I can't remember the last time I had guests so frequently. I did tell you we could discuss your memories and the Eidolon more in depth after the party. Did you have any questions or?
When all these memories start to return, will I feel different?
Well, let's see. It starts as dreams you'll have of places you've never been, people you've never met, fleeting images, feelings. Then they'll appear while you're awake. You'll be eating breakfast and suddenly recall when you last ate something similar in the 17th century. The only difficult part is that eventually it can be hard to differentiate between your life and all those other lives. They blend together.
It does sound confusing.
A little, yeah. And not all the memories will be good ones. It can take time to process.
You said it becomes hard to differentiate your life from the others. How hard, exactly? It'll still be me, right?
Grace, would you say that who you are is at least in part due to your experiences?
I guess so, sure.
Well, you'll have a lot more experiences. They won't feel like someone else's either. It will feel like you did all those things. They will shape who you are now, just as they shaped Calliope and all those who came before her. The good news is, you won't get all the memories. Each time we pass on, the older memories fade.
Wait, how is it good that old memories start to fade?
We're many thousands of years old, Grace. If all of those memories returned with
这样
perfect
讲也没
clarity,
错啦。
you'd drown
忘
them.
记本身就是一
Yeah,
个很
but
厉害的
doesn't that
大
mean
脑
you've all
功能。
forgotten so much?
Tell me, how much do you remember from when you were a small child?
Bits and pieces, I guess. Not much.
It's the same for us. The further I try to think back, the more blurry it becomes. I remember the important bits, but little else. Some of the really old memories. There's so many mortal stories that get mixed up with them. things my previous selves learned as legends, it becomes hard to tell. It takes time, Grace. You'll remember all the lives you've led, but at a pace you can handle, and nothing more.
How many times have you died? Can I ask that?
Well, we call it passing on, meeting the eidolon, and it's fine. I've passed on 12 times that I can recall.
So your name isn't really Apollo?
Most recently it was Lucas. Everyone Lucas ever knew is gone, however, so these days I prefer Apollo again.
Lucas? Seems weird to think of you as a Lucas.
It was weird for him, too. Much like yourself, Lucas becoming Apollo was somewhat of a surprise.
Sounds like there's a story there.
跟我说说。
Tell me about this Lucas. How did he become you? Or is it how you became Apollo?
Apollo had taken to surfing. He left the city without permission and roamed the coast looking for... Well, I'm not sure now. Whatever it was, he found it one night when a giant wave took him down. He was drowning, and I thought, this is finally it. But it wasn't. Lucas saw Apollo struggling and swam out to save him. He pulled us ashore, but it was too late. It took a long time to realize what happened. I didn't return to the city until years later. By then, everyone thought I was Apollo's chosen successor.
So no trial for you, huh?
It wasn't easy at first, without memories or anyone to guide me, but no, nothing like that.
Oh.
Wait, what would have happened if Lucas hadn't tried to rescue you? What if no one was there when you...
When I died, then the eidolon of Apollo's line would have ended forever, I think.
You think?
There have been stories about eidolons that survive for a time and go wandering. That's probably all they are, though. Stories. It's not something we've had much opportunity to study, but normally death without passing on is how an idol really dies. Forever.
那就这样吧。
It's a lot to consider. Assuming I'll even have time to worry about it, what with the trial coming.
Hopefully this eases whatever concerns you might have had. Anything else you'd like to discuss while you're here?
Tell me more about the war. It seems to have had a huge effect on all of you.
I don't think we would have left the old world otherwise. It was home.
From Aphrodite's song, I know Ares betrayed everyone. What did you do?
I caused it. I foresaw what was going to happen, so I tried to prevent it. I told Ares. I figured if the god of war couldn't stop what was to come, then...
And that's why he betrayed everyone.
He decided the idols were a lost cause. Because I told him we were.
这就是为什么阿波罗不再用预言的原因。
Surely it could have happened anyhow. It was a big war. The biggest.
Perhaps. We'll never know, will we? My time afterwards was spent helping the survivors, keeping us on the move. If Hephaestus hadn't intervened, we would have all been captured.
And he's...
Oh, gone now, we assume, like so many others. We are nothing more than refugees from a war long over, Grace.
Was it hard for the idols to come to the new world? It's just a place like any other, isn't it?
I don't think it was the place so much as the condition we were in. Shell-shocked, one might say. Our entire world had been turned upside down. Suddenly, we had rules. Secrecy was paramount, and no one was permitted to leave the city. Some, like my sister Artemis, couldn't abide.
月亮女神，
Yeah,
月亮与
I've heard
狩
the
猎
name.
女神。
Goddess of the hunt,
啊，对，狩猎。
And a wild thing herself. She left, I think. Faded away without a word. As many did in the early days here. Later, Athena became even more strict. For our own good, of course, but it hasn't been easy. This city has never felt like home so much as a temporary shelter.
What happened to the other muses? You mentioned 2 others. Were they lost in the war?
Cleo perished centuries before. The victim of an obsessed writer she'd spurned. He kept her in a cage as his personal muse.
That's pretty dark.
It was. By the time we found her, she was already... Well, it's enough to say her captor didn't survive her for long. Talia, however, was lost to us on the very last day of the war. We were about to leave on the ship, but she just never showed up.
Do you know what happened to her?
We never found out. I worried for years, even hired people to look, but as far as I can tell, she up and vanished into smoke that day. The war had ground her down. I was upset, but not surprised.
那就这样吧。
That's all I can think of for now. I'll see you around.
Of course. I look forward to it.
还是我们要同时去找美杜莎谈谈？我想想哦，我们把美杜莎这一段破完好了。虽然这样今天的剧情会比较长。
This must be the Viper's Nest. Scariest part of town, no sign. Just that one dude glaring at everyone. Well, I'm here now. Just another day in the life of an idol.
There you are. Man, this place is the worst. I think someone peed on me.
Freddie? What are you doing here?
What, you thought I wouldn't notice you skulking off? You didn't even bring any equipment, Grace.
你带装备了没错，但是为什么你要带一个看起来像狼牙棒的东西？
What kind of equipment does one bring to a meeting with Medusa?
This isn't a meeting, Grace. You're not here to sell her on your business plan.
Please tell me you don't have any weapons in there.
I certainly hope one of you brought more than sheer ignorance.
Oh, it's you.
It is me. How exciting, no?
Pan, what are you doing here?
I'm the one who told you about this place. You didn't expect my curiosity to get the better of me?
Why are you really here, Pan? The truth this time.
I need to have some dastardly ulterior motive other than to be of assistance. For shame, Grace.
You just don't get it, do you? The act is wearing real thin.
It's true. I am a bad man, and I spoke poorly.
And? That's it?
I'd hope even you, Freddie, could see that advice from an idol might be useful here.
I suppose.
If you have any advice, Pan, I'm
好吧，
all
至
ears.
少我们还是要
Well, I
听
assume you
听
know
看到底
how
怎么
Medusa
说。
became what she is.
She used to be human, right? And then Athena cursed her. Pretty unfairly, too.
Now, however, Athena hasn't the power to undo her own curse. Or so she claims.
That's gotta suck.
Medusa isn't happy about it, no. Yet she survives because she must. As do we all.
好。
Medusa is the one who turns people into stone just by looking at them, right?
People, yes. Idols, not so much. Or that's my assumption. I'll admit to not knowing if she's ever turned her gaze on one of us.
Great. Is there any way to make someone not a statue? If it turns out she can?
Short of Medusa dying? No. Not unless she wishes it.
Apollo said she's some kind of spy
我觉得我
master
们
for
要去见一个
Athena.
危险
Is that
人
right?
物。
A truer description, I'd say, is that she's more Athena's servant. Poor thing can't survive on her own. So she's become whatever Athena needs. Spy master, enforcer, provider of garden statuary.
That doesn't sound fair.
It isn't. But keep in mind, Medusa is no helpless maiden. She is as clever as she is dangerous. And Athena knows it.
Medusa's clever and works for Athena, but what's she really like?
She doesn't exactly come to the parties, Grace. Medusa is an enigma to most of us. If idols hide in the shadows, she lurks in even darker places. She's an outsider, and she loathes us as much as she needs us.
Is she dangerous?
Let's just say we're all rather relieved she stays away.
Okay, enough talking.
但我们还
Time
是
to
得
do
找
this.
他。
See, that's the spirit. Now there's simply the matter of getting you in before she's aware you're here.
You're gonna help her do that?
Why not? You're more apt to become a statue than to be any true help, my dear.
Knock it off, both of you. I have a plan for getting inside.
A word of advice before we proceed. Once you find Medusa, make the number a knockout.
分散他的注意力，老方法一定很有用。
My good man, I'm wondering if you could help us with a little problem. You see, we...
That's your plan? You're just gonna walk up to him and ask? He doesn't care what our problem is.
If you could both
little does he know that you're my biggest problem. It's been snipe, snipe, snipe ever since I arrived.
Oh, and I guess you'd rather I
Nicely
left, huh?
done.
That would be convenient,
Now just
wouldn't
keep
it?
him busy
I'm not
while
going
I look
anywhere,
around.
goat man.
怎么看起来好像很正常，但完全不是在演戏呢？那两位就直接这样吵起来了。
What a long day, hiding in the light. Such a long day, dreaming of tonight. This sacred bite. Hello, who's that there? You've messed up my flow. Just get your drink, girl, and take your seat. Oh, it's the muse. There are sacred bites, and then there's this sacred bite. So wrong, so right. I'm really gonna hate myself tonight.
Medusa, listen, stop, I'm warning you. This is something you don't want to do.
Tell me more about me, look at you. A prime sashimi with opinions too.
Medusa, listen, I'm warning you.
Yes, keep on warning
There's no
me.
rewinding, it's something you can't undo. Can't undo.
It's kind of the point, lovely. Now look into me. Your body goes freely every time I see it tenders, turning jelly as it renders. What'd you say, Grace? You okay, Grace? Where's the game face this time? You are currently experiencing something I like to call the preparation. Any questions or comments? That's right, it is widely known that I can turn folks to stone. But oh, I won't this time. Cause this time I find dine that oozy musy bloods my wine this time. Look
哇，全部都变成他的主场了。
Some sort of PI, or more like her pet. Am I hurting the mood when I mention her name?
The fact that she'd hate that you're on my plate only makes me more game. Look into.
Hey, snake's alive. Killing Calliope was something new. Back then I wasn't sure I wanted to. Now I can't wait to do the same to you and get the buzz of doing something you can't undo.
You're lost, little girl. No more Hail Marys. We both know the victim's you, the killer's me.
You don't know, you don't know.
I do know that you didn't
kill Calliope.
哈，
So
果然是这样。
you know that it's true that I didn't do it.
No.
Yes, you do know, you know. Does that mean Athena knows?
No.
你明明是他的线人，为什么你知道他不知道？
Just like fate made you, fate played me. Just like fate won't see what your eyes see when you look at me. Don't look at me.
哎呀，我都忘记他会吹排箫了。
Not the bloody charms.
You think you can turn me to stone before I burn your snakes off? I'm betting you can't.
The lighter was my idea.
Ah.
Hold off, you two. Let's give Medusa some space.
Okay, but if she so much as twitches, it's torch time.
Now Freddy's a thug. Love this for her.
You ready to talk?
Oh, fine. Fine. What exactly is it that you want, pretty muse?
You were at the reliquary the night Calliope was murdered. I want to know why.
Blast! This is why I didn't tell Lady Athena. I knew it would come back to haunt me. I only followed pretty Calliope to the reliquary. I never spoke to her, never even caught up to her. I swear it.
That's what Asterion told us, more or less.
But you were there that night.
Yes, yes, I admit it. Ugh, Lady Athena will have my head. She'll mount it on a pike. Whatever you might think of me, I had no part in the Muse's death. I did not even know she'd been attacked until I saw her fleeing.
You haven't told Athena any of this?
Do I need to light things up again? 'Cause I'll do it.
I told her Calliope was at the reliquary that night. I did not tell her I was also there.
Why not? Wouldn't Athena find out from Hecate anyway?
I was not thinking clearly. I panicked. Lady Athena barely tolerates my presence as it is. If she thought I was involved in any way, if she even suspected...
Asterion said he caught up with you out in the fog. Is that right?
I thought he was the one who had attacked her. He is a great beast of a creature.
那他是
Oh,
可
that
爱牛
seems
牛
rather。unlikely. The bull's as gentle as a lamb.
Yeah, pretty much that.
Yes, I only realized my mistake once I caught up to him, and by then the muse was gone.
And you never found her afterwards?
I thought she might flee to her pretty home, or to the sharp and prickly Persephone. She did neither.
Yeah, she came to see me. You followed Calliope to the reliquary. Why were you shadowing her at all?
I am Lady Athena's spy master, yes. Calliope has been trouble from time to time.
So you were spying on her?
I keep watch over every idol who no longer lives in Olympus, but especially Calliope.
Oh,
When I
那是他的
realized
工
she was headed to
作
the reliquary that eve, I followed. I had a duty to Athena.
Did you ever find out why Calliope went there?
I was never close enough to ask. When I drew near to the reliquary, that is when I saw the muse fleeing. She was frightened, bloodied, dying.
A tasty snack for you to hunt down.
I gave chase, yes, but to discover the truth. I knew Lady Athena would wish to know.
That does make sense from your perspective.
I didn't learn the truth until later. And then it was far too late.
Why should we believe you? You did just try to eat me, remember?
I am telling you the truth.
Right, and not at all trying to cover your own ass.
You presented an opportunity. Oh, to taste the sweet, sweet blood of a hero once again. It's a problem. I've been working on it, I really have.
Oh, Medusa.
Well, what of you? The only reason I knew Calliope was going to the reliquary is because you informed me.
Well,
Speaking of covering one's ass,
it is true. But Grace, I can explain.
I'll bet you can. Let's put a pin in that for the moment, shall we?
I am a monster. It's true. I do not deny it. It's still.
果然每次他进
I
去搞
did
鬼，
not
真的是
kill the
哦
muse.
啊！算了，
Okay,
时尚我们问
let's
完了。
say we believe you. For the moment.
Whatever you do, pretty muse, I beg you. Do not tell Athena of my indiscretion. Show mercy. I know what I am horrifies you. It horrifies me as well. I cannot help what I am. I did not ask to be cursed like this.
Whether I tell Athena depends. Have you done this before?
I...
Medusa, what happened to Artemis?
She left? I am a lost and cursed thing. No idol. If Lady Athena should learn the truth... I hope you find what you seek, pretty muse. And that we meet again someday. And sing a different song.
Okay, so that was fun. Grace, I'll meet you back at home.
Now, before you say anything...
You knew. Right from the start, you knew Calliope was there that night.
你看吧，潘妮每次都不跟我们好好讲实话。
She asked for the key and I gave it to her, no questions asked. I never lied to you, Grace. I said I didn't know what became of Calliope at the reliquary, and I didn't. But I wanted to, so I nudged you in the right direction.
You sold Calliope out. Medusa said you're the one who told her where Calliope went.
Well, it was worth a favor.
So, the moment Calliope walked out the door, you were on the phone selling her location.
I am trying to help Grace. In my way.
What do you mean, in my way? What way is that?
The way where I don't take all the blame.
但是看起来你现在需要承担责
What
任啊。
else will I discover, Pan? I'd rather learn it now than later.
I wish I could tell you, Grace. I truly do.
那种潘就是不愿意跟我们讲老实话，这很烦呢。我们再去找阿波罗一次，真是受够了。Hey.
Grace, back again so soon. Did you find Medusa after all? You've been on my mind ever since you told me about her.
I did, and it was fine. I told you it would be. Okay, it almost wasn't fine, but it worked out. Nobody got hurt.
I see. Perhaps you'd best tell me what happened then. That sounds like quite the harrowing experience. One that could have gone very poorly indeed.
If I didn't know better, I'd say you were worried about me.
I will always worry about you, Grace.
Is that a good thing? I'll take it as a good thing.
If you've cleared Medusa's involvement, that still leaves us with Pan. Have you confronted him about it?
He admitted to selling out Calliope, but not to killing her. I don't know if I can believe him.
I've never thought of Pan as a liar so much as a manipulator. Still, he would do anything to protect himself. I'll have to give this some thought. Anything else you'd like to discuss while you're here?
No, that's okay. I'll see you later, Apollo.
然后我们再回公寓跟我们的好朋友再聊聊天。等等。
Hi, Grace. I can just call you Grace, right?
That's my name.
陈米斯到底在这里
Where's
干嘛？
Freddie?
She went out to get snacks. We were gonna watch TV while we waited, but, well, here you are.
Waited. Were you looking for me?
All over, yeah. Athena sent me to find you, but it wasn't easy. Yeah, you must have been busy.
Yeah, because I stand trial soon.
Right, that makes sense. Anyway, I guess Athena wants to talk? I can zip us over to Olympus anytime, if you're free.
So this is what you do? Ferry people around?
I'm the god of messengers, baby. Travelers, doorways, any kind of transition, really. The old Hermes said that the transition part made even more sense for me, which, extra cool, right?
Yeah,
吓我一
I
吓
can
我一
connect
跳。
any two doorways
哎，
anywhere,
灰
just
石
like that.
感谢
So
7
it's
个
super
月
easy
的
to take
订
people
阅。
wherever. I don't mind.
毕达哥拉斯学派认为7代表未婚的处女，因为她既不由母亲所生，如2或4这样的偶数，也不是由父亲所生，如3和5这样的奇数，而是直接来自万物之父的顶点，数字或称为单体。OK， 好，谢谢，感谢你的解释。但严格上来讲，以现代的观念来讲，7应该是奇数吧？好。
You mentioned the old Hermes a lot. You knew him?
Yeah, I was homeless for a while. It wasn't a great time, and he took me in. Everyone's on the same journey, he used to say. Only the roads are different. And then he went on his journey. Man, I still miss him every day.
Wait, isn't he still inside you? Aren't you kind of the same person now?
Not yet. It's only been a year. Maybe I'll feel him
1 年
again
还
one
不
day.
会有感觉。
That'd be nice.
OK，
You say it's easy, but do you like doing all
你
these
说
errands?
不是就不是，好哦。
Yeah,
毕
I
竟
never
那个
thought
时候
about
的 数学跟几何学都是类似的
Athena
概
is
念
super
吗？
sweet, and she has a big, important job. Why wouldn't I want to help her out?
You can't be this nice. Are you for real?
Oh, well, the old Hermes used to say that a willingness to serve is more important than a willingness to be served.
Do I have a choice about seeing Athena? I'm not in the habit of being at anyone's beck and call.
I mean, I guess you could say no, but I wouldn't. If Athena wants something, she's gonna get it eventually. She had that look in her eyes, like she really wants to talk to you.
She could always come here. Everyone else does.
Athena entered the mortal world? And now she doesn't do that ever. Can you imagine?
只是来我们房间好
How
而
does
已好
Athena
吗
manage never entering
？Hermes，
the
你不是可以
mortal
开传
world?
送门吗？
She doesn't have to, I guess. Everyone brings her everything she needs. And that creepy owl of hers? Apollo says it's her eyes out in the world. It's everywhere. Watching.
So what, she just never leaves the building?
She'll go to the reliquary and places like that.
那想
Just
他们
never
做
where
的
mortals
背包
are.
一定有很不
She
错
wears a
的
toga and
员工
calls
餐厅。
cars iron horses.
I suppose there's no point in putting it off. Do your thing. Take me to Olympus.
Okay. Oh, when you see Freddie, tell her I'm sorry I couldn't stick around for the movie. And mind if I say something?
Sure.
You've changed. I mean, from the person I met when I first came here. When, you know, you got it together really quick.
Thanks, I guess.
好，走吧。哎，为什么我还可以再选择一次性格？那我们就再选一次，选一个好了。
There you are, Grace. Do have a seat.
I prefer to stand, thanks.
As you like. You've certainly been busy, haven't you? Everywhere I turn, there you are. Including the reliquary.
Oh.
I'm
因为
uncertain
是
how
希
you
腊
got
众神，为
access,
什么不
but
是说古希腊
even
神
you
话
must have realized it's off
因为
limits.
他不是，
Particularly
他
for your
是
mortal
希
friend.
希腊众神来到现代的故事。
But you know what happened there. That's where Calliope was attacked.
Yet it's not where she died, Grace, is it?
So because she made it all the way to my apartment, we shouldn't care why she was bleeding to death along the way.
You think our judgment was rash? It was. In truth, I worried that giving you time, letting us all get to know you, would make it harder in the end. I am sorry, Grace. You may not believe it, but I care deeply. I care about what happens to you and to all the idols.
Like you care about Medusa? She lives like that because you cursed her. Have you even tried to undo it? I'm betting not, because she's useful like this, and that's where your caring ends.
Zeus was the first to leave. King of the gods. And we don't even know what became of him. Vanished into the ether. Poseidon was next. Walked out into the seas, never to be heard from again. Ares betrayed us. Hephaestus saved us. Hades was murdered. And by one of our own. The list goes on.
So you add to it. I show up and you kill me off because you can't be too careful.
We are dying, Grace. I don't mean diminishing or drifting apart. I mean our immortality is disappearing. very soon now. The idols will be
快
no
打起
more.
来！你要看神明打
We
架。
are a legacy that spans millennia,
我们是用
dating
嘴
back to
遁
the
的。
very dawn of humankind. So yes, I care. I will do anything and everything in my power to avoid that fate, even if
我
it
觉得雅
appears
典娜谐音越来
unfair.
越重喽。
You know, it's too bad. I've been an idol for 5 minutes, and I've been out there solving problems you've all wrestled with for how long now? I could have helped you, Athena. I could have helped all of you. But you don't see that, do you? You're so busy holding on to what you have. You can't see what you're throwing away.
I know we've put a great deal on your shoulders, Grace. I do. All I called you here to ask is that you please not make my job more difficult than it already is. If you have any other questions or concerns, now's the time to bring them up.
Who has access to the reliquary? Is it anyone with a key, or...
Does it matter? You gained access, so clearly it is not difficult to get. Speaking of which, I don't suppose you'll tell me who gave you that key.
The same person gave it to me who gave it to Calliope.
And who gave it to Calliope then? I see.
What do you know of Pan?
Pan? That's not a name I expected to hear. Been sniffing around you, has he?
I have some suspicions, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts.
Pan lurks at the edges because he likes it there, seeking out whatever profit he thinks he can get away with. Avoid him, dear, or he'll stick to you like gum to the bottom of your shoe.
Speaking of the reliquary, you went there, right? Once Hecate told you what happened?
Yeah, I was not impressed by the delay.
If you had known about that, the night Calliope died, would it have made a difference?
The chances are exceedingly small that you attacked her there, it's true. Yet, Calliope was weakened, which made her more vulnerable prey for an enterprising mortal.
Come on, 他才跟我们见过一面而已，我们根本就不
Perhaps
知
the
道他是
incidents are
神。
connected, perhaps not. I cannot afford the risk of uncertainty, Grace. I'm sorry.
All right, let's talk about Medusa.
Again, if you wish. What of her?
I just have to know why. Of all the people you could have working for you, why her?
We could have left her behind. I elected to bring her because, in the end, she is my responsibility. But Medusa didn't want charity. She volunteered to work in my service. It's trying at times. Now, if there isn't anything else...
我觉得先不要直接下定论，跟雅典娜说，我觉得潘是凶手。
I guess I'll get back to my investigation.
I am rooting for you, Grace. If there's another way to resolve this, any way at all, I will take it.
Will you? Really?
Good luck. Feel free to take a cookie on your way out.
Well, I can't say I'm surprised. Athena has always struggled in a crisis.
Well, that's a nice way of putting it.
Remember, she was a warrior. When pressed, she's always turned to that aspect, sought to maintain absolute control. It'd be hypocritical to say it's wrong of her. She's battled for me as much as for anyone.
Do you think she's telling the truth about the idols dying out?
Yes, though I find it odd she chose to tell you.
Maybe Athena thought, who'd believe Grace if she blabbed about it anyway?
Sadly,
真的
while I
有时候很好
prefer
笑。
to stay in her good graces, I doubt that will be possible.
Uh-oh, what now?
You may not like this, but you need to go back to the reliquary.
Let me guess. to figure out why Calliope went there in the first place.
As usual, you're way ahead of me.
It's the only piece of the puzzle we're missing. Calliope went there because she had a plan. But what plan?
If she left clues
为什么你
behind,
说这个雅
wouldn't
典娜
Hecate
身
have
上
found
感受
them
不到智
already?
慧？我也这么
That's
觉
a
得。
really good question.
Remember how I told you it'd be years before you got Calliope's memories back? Well, that's true, but not entirely.
Okay.
Those memories are inside you. You go somewhere important to Calliope or touch something special to her, you will get flashes, feelings.
Do you want Grace to go to the reliquary so she can have deja vu?
Whatever happened to Calliope there, it ended her life. All we need to do is uncover those memories.
Are you sure about this? You want me to wander around hoping something comes to me?
Am I sure? No, I'm not.
Oh, that's comforting.
What if Medusa is lying? What about Pan? We could look into him some more, couldn't we?
Oh, well, do you have a way we could look into those things without encountering even more lies?
Deja vu it is.
Last time Freddie and I were there, Hecate wouldn't let us into the reliquary. Not without Athena's permission.
Okay. Do you want to ask Athena for permission?
It just seems like a radical step. For you.
A week ago, I would have said that breaking into the reliquary couldn't be done. A week ago, I couldn't have imagined being here. My stance on a lot of things has changed. If you have another idea, however, I'm happy to go along with it.
Let's say I do this. What am I hoping to find?
Some memory of what happened to Calliope, even a flash. Anything that gives us something to work with.
And if that doesn't happen?
Make it happen, Grace. As if your life depends on it.
I can really see why the idols call you the cheery one.
I'm sorry, but why is she here again?
我觉得那个阿波罗有时候真的很搞笑。
What about the alarms? I'm not eager to have Asterion chasing me through the fog.
Calliope snuck in without setting off any alarms. At least at first.
Well, I'll be following in Calliope's footsteps, won't I? What if I follow the wrong footstep and set them off?
Then the alarms bring Asterion and Hecate, and all three of us do a great deal of apologizing.
Let's just hope that's all those alarms do.
Is there really no other way? This seems a bit desperate.
I think that's kind of the point, Grace.
There isn't much time left, and I'm out of ideas that won't take more time than we have.
Well, there's always running, right? Grace leaves the city, goes on a world tour, becomes rich and famous. It's just me. Okay, then.
Right then. Back to the reliquary it is.
Any idea how you want to do this, Grace? Because I'm game to help.
Cool. I'm sure we can figure something out.
I can't go into the reliquary with you, not without tipping off Hecate. But I won't be far. If I get the slightest sense that something has gone wrong, I am coming in. Still, promise me you won't take risks.
I'll try.
Ugh, can we just get on with this already?
那我们就要这样直接过去吗？因为我想要先玩到这里就好。这样好了，等一下，我看能不能。我们还不好，不管，我要直接把游戏关掉。等一下，我们就相信下一次来的时候会从这边开始读档，不然的话我们就多看一小段剧情回顾，当做回顾好了。先让我切个画面。其实这个游戏的画风一直让我想到某一部作品，我要找一下，因为那部作品好像没有中文。 我找找看我有没有记录，因为我有看过别人的实况。但我不确定我有没有把那个实况系列留着。他这一直让我想到另外一部还算有名的文字冒险游戏，小众有名的那一种，不是超级无敌有名。ちょっと待ってね。而且我记得之前大概1-2年前，他们有宣布要出2代，但我后来就没有追踪到那部游戏的消息了。叫什么了？Werewolf 什么之类的，跟狼人有关的。同一个游戏团队，找找哦。啊呀 ，The Wolf Around Us， 因为画风的关系。虽然说《The Wolf Around Us》的画风更美漫一点，但真的还蛮像的。哦，那部游戏我个人蛮期待它的第2部，然后我不知道有没有机会可以玩到它的第1部作品，因为它好像没有中文，好像没有中文。我来找找，有外挂中文啊，有，但是好像没有。对，它只有英文，非常小众的一部作品，但故事非常的不错。说不定我们之后有机会可以来玩玩看，如果有。好，那我看一下哦。无论如何，今天先这样好了，而且要6点了，我要赶快去买晚餐，不然的话会肚子饿。废话。好，那今天就先到这里咯，下次再见。我们下一次应该就会把这个系列给玩完了。